first story Jesus told about lost things was the story of the lost sheep. What would you do if one of you had 100 sheep and lost one of them? Wouldn't you rather leave the 99 and search the way you came until you find the lost sheep? Then when you find it, wouldn't you rejoice, carry it on your shoulders, come back, gather your friends and neighbors, and tell them to rejoice with you? 100 sheep. It feels like a lot, right? Scholars who study the time of Jesus say that not all 100 sheep belong to one shepherd. If all 100 sheep belonged to one shepherd, there would be no need to go through the trouble of finding just one. A shepherd was in charge of taking care of the sheep of his family or village people. So what should he do if the lost sheep is the sheep of his relative or neighbor? Or what if that was the only sheep he had? The lost sheep was not one sheep out of 100, but only that one sheep. It is a quantity that cannot be replaced with anything. So the shepherd had to find the sheep. Even if it took hours or days to find it, he would have worked hard going back and forth through the rough wilderness. If he found the lost sheep that way, the joy would be indescribable. It was probably the same for the sheep. If you read Psalms 23, David says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." It goes on to say, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death," a situation comes to mind where the sheep did not follow the shepherd or lost their way. If the sheep had walked along the road with the shepherd or other sheep, it would have been a place where there was nothing lacking. But if the sheep had lost its way and was alone, it would have been like the valley of the shadow of death. When a lost sheep is giving up everything, when it is full of fear of cliffs and threats from wild animals, how would it feel if a shepherd appeared in front of it? The joy of the sheep cannot be expressed in words, right? The shepherd carried the sheep, which had been unable to move out of fear, on his shoulder and returned home. He let his neighbors and friends know, "I found the lost sheep. Please rejoice and be happy with me." Knowing the joy of a shepherd who found a sheep, all his neighbors and friends would have come and rejoiced with him. He was happy when he found a sheep like this, and he was able to share joy again with his neighbors. Jesus talks about the two joys like this. The tax collectors and sinners in front of Jesus were lost people. Not just one person out of 100 or one person out of 1,000, but just that one person, and a very precious one. Jesus was very happy that these people who were lost and walking through the valley of the shadow of death ate with him, talked with him, and became his friends. So this is what he says to the Pharisees and scribes. Just as the shepherd's friends and neighbors rejoiced with them, I want you all to rejoice together in finding your lost friend.